Hey everyone, it's Samuel here, back with another video. And it's been over 4 years since I uploaded the video showing how to fix the DeLonghi milk frothing issue. And it's been 4 years and this same problem seems to have arisen again. So, I'm going to be showing you in this video a bit more about how to fix it. I'm going to be doing the fix again. I'm going to show you the walkthrough. The coffee machine is just turning on right now, as you can probably hear. And yeah, I'm just going to show you how you can replace the coupling Carafe. Again, I'll link down in the description below where you can order the coupling Carafe. You can actually buy it directly from DeLonghi. I think it's about £9 or £10, but I haven't checked the price, but it's quite cheap. Yeah, and interestingly, little fact for you, I have 2 of these machines, and interestingly, I replaced them both about 4 years ago within a week of each other, and they've actually both failed within about a week of each other, so it's quite an interesting coincidence. So let me just show you the problem once again here. I'm just going to, set a simple cappuccino running, and you'll see that no milk is really coming out. It's just sort of steaming away. Yeah, nothing's really going on, and I believe the first time I had this issue that was a bit more violently sucking up and down, but now it's just blowing steam. And I believe there's many different ways you can fix this, a number of different approaches people have used, mentioned in the comments, different ways you can clean the coupling Carafe, and different ways of oiling it, descaling it, and some of these do work, but I think it's just to do with the engineering that after around 4 years or so, it does just wear out, and you can't really do much more than just replace it. And as you'll see in a bit, it's quite a task to replace it, because you have to open up the whole machine. It's not easily accessible, and of course, being a plastic part, it's not the most durable. But yeah, you can see, and I'll just show you in just a second, the sort of experience I suddenly started having with the coffee machine. From frothing fine, a few weeks ago, it's now just gone to this, and yeah, not great. No, this is meant to be a cappuccino, and it looks a lot more like a black coffee with a little bit of milk. So here's the part. I've bought a new one. Interestingly, they have serial numbers, and this is like 9,000 and something, and the previous one was 8,900 and something. So they clearly don't make too many of these parts. But yeah, you can see it's brand new. Just bought it from DeLonghi directly from the website. So now let me just show you how you can set everything up. I just remove the water there, and then just take the tray and everything out of the way. Get it out of the way. You don't want it to get in the way when you're trying to set everything up. It's much easier to access it without it in the way. And the back comes off quite easily. Just 2 screws, one at the top, one at the bottom, and you can slide it up like this and pull it back. Comes off very easily. Then there's 2 side panels, each with 2 screws, one at the top and one at the bottom again. I believe the left side panel is much harder to get back on when you reassemble, but it's just a pulling motion and then lifting the machine to the side so you can get it out. You just spin it around now, and you can just take these side panels. You have to basically take the display off, which is quite easy to do. There's just 2 screws basically on either side, with one on one side and 2 on the other. Comes off quite easily. You have to be careful with the cable. And then here there's these 2 screws, and this is for the plastic casing in front of the coupling Carafe, which pulls off easily like that. And you see there's a screw at the top here and a screw at the bottom, which hold the coupling Carafe in place. So it's quite an easy thing to fit in place. And then you just take it out. There's a metal hook ring that goes in place across the brass disc, and you can pull that out. Normally with a screwdriver it's quite easy to do. You just want to pull it out like that, and then what you can do is you can actually pull. It takes a bit of a tug, especially if it's been a number of years or you've never replaced it. You can get stuck. You just pull fairly sharply. After all, you're replacing the part anyway, it'll be fine. Then you just want to loop this plastic back through, and then the new coupling Carafe. It can be quite fiddly trying to get this back on. Annoyingly, the cable's not very long, so you have to pull quite tightly, and getting the metal sort of thing that holds it in place is quite hard to get in. So it's a bit of a challenge. Once in place, it's fairly easy to do, and I like to just put both screws in place before using the screwdriver, and just check it's all secure. And you can wash this plastic plate; it gets quite dirty. And then you just simply click it into place. It's quite straightforward, but first time doing it, it gets a bit annoying. And then just sticking the screws back in. And then what we can do is stick the display back on. There's 3 screws, two on the left hand side and then 1 on the right hand side. And it's a bit of an annoyance that you have to take this display off at all, really. But I think it's not been engineered for commercial standards. It's a domestic machine, isn't it? They want you to send it back to DeLonghi. The side panel just goes on like this. Takes a little bit of lining up to get the hooks in place, but there's just 2 screws again. Just make sure you put them in fairly tightly and it's actually hooked in place. This one on the left hand side takes a lot more time to get into place, so make sure you hook everything in correctly. And then the back panel just slides on like that. Just make sure you slide it down correctly, and then there's just 2 screws, 1 on the top and then 1 on the bottom. And then I can just slide the water back in here, and then just slot it in, and you can just stick the table back in and then close it like that. And now I can show you it hopefully working. There's a switch on the back. I like to use this when I turn it off because it just disconnects the mains directly. It's faster than unplugging it, though for ease I normally unplug it anyway. When you first turn it back on after it's been powered off, it does a self-diagnosis, as you'll probably see there. So you do have to turn it back on. It does the full heating up and rinse cycle again, which takes quite a bit of time. It's like 3 or 4 minutes. So hopefully have this a bit more sped up for you. So now let's test it out. Let's see if our fix has worked. Just going to hit the cappuccino. I think cappuccino is quite a good one to test with. 1, because I want a cappuccino, and 2, because obviously milk is involved, and if you make a cappuccino it involves a lot of frothing, and you really get to test the full extent of the frothing capability of the coupling carafe, and along with the milk jug. And as you can see, it is working very well, so it looks like we fixed it. And it's important to note that the milk jug itself can of course be a cause of the issue. In the past I've had to replace milk jugs as well as the coupling carafe, so it's not just the coupling carafe, it is also the milk jug, and that's obviously a key component you've got to consider. And yeah, now the coffee's coming out very nicely, and I'm going to have a lovely, delicious cappuccino. So the problem is fixed. If you want to see any more tips and tricks on how you can fix this issue, I've made a video specifically going over some of the simple things that may fix your issue. You can click those on the screen right now, and you can see the video. If you want to see my previous video that I made over 4 years ago, you can see that as well on the screen now. So thanks for watching, and goodbye.